offering a masterclass in foam rolling. So lots of people have them, see them around in the shops, in the gym, but just don't know what to do with them. So I thought I'll do a class to tell you what you can do. So first of all, what are they? Well, they're high density foam, which has been compressed together to make a cylinder shape, and you can have ones which are hollow as well. And they come in generally two sizes. You can have a smaller one, which is 30 centimeters, or you can have a full length one, which is probably 3 lots of that. I would say almost 90 centimeters or so. And also they can be completely smooth, which is what I would recommend if you're first starting off, and is perfect for everyone really. The ones with the kind of ridges and the bumps, I recommend these for those that do a lot of exercise and training and running, CrossFit, cycling, because these ones work in a slightly different way. So the way the foam rollers generally work is that they are working on the myofascia. So this is like almost what I would say is like a cling film, which is around the muscle to kind of keep it all kind of encased in. Now what you're doing is a bit like self-massaging. So if you had a physio or having a massage and someone was massaging the muscles, if you're having a deep tissue massage or a sports massage, or having soft tissue release by a physio done, they'd be working a lot deeper. So working deep into the muscle, but also working on the sheath of the myofascia. So this is equivalent to that in some ways, in terms of doing it yourself more regularly. So you build up, so you prevent the build up over a long term. So this smooth will kind of roll over, and as you find parts which are more tender or tight, you can press down a little bit more, you can hold it a little bit more, and that will help release it. By having one which has the ridges on, what you're doing is, instead of rolling completely smooth over something, when something is kind of misplaced, and if you've got things like trigger points or hot spots or knots, lots of different words, what you have is all the fibres are no longer smooth, they're all scattered. So by rolling smooth over it, you are going to have effect. But if you can roll something that is not regular either, what you're going to do is really break down that area and help release it in a different kind of way, but it's definitely a lot more hardcore if you've got this one. So if you haven't got one at all, I would say start with this. If you've been using this and it's not really helping, or you're doing more exercise than you used to before, then definitely go for a ridged one. Other thing to mention is you can get them either as a complete circle, like we have here, and the other option is you can get what's known as half ones. So they're basically sliced here. I haven't got one to show you, I'm afraid. So it's sliced in the middle, so one part is a flat end and the other half is a circle. So you've got half a semicircle basically, and the half end will lie on the floor, and then the top curved part is what you would do your exercises with. So the half ones are great for when you're actually doing exercise, building up strength, working on your core stability, your balance, proprioception. They are great. If you're focusing mainly on stretching, then you want the kind of cylinder ones to go with. So what are the benefits? Well, there's mainly 3 ways you can use this. You can use it purely for stretching. If you're doing your regular exercise, you're happy with what your routine is, and you want to release muscles because there's certain muscle groups that you use all the time, fantastic, this is for you. If you're finding that you don't really get a chance to warm up as much, or you've still got kind of issues from a previous workout you've done and you're about to do another one, then this is great for your warm-up. You can help release your muscles, you can work on building up the blood flow into the area, so it's getting prepared ready for you to use for your workout. And then the other end is, once you've done your workout, what you can do is use these to then stretch out and release any tension, so hopefully you get less aches and pains after your workout on the next day or the day after, when you normally feel that you've done a workout. So you can do it pre-exercise, stretching, or afterwards. And then there is actually a fourth version, which is the one which I was saying with the half, where you can actually use it for exercise, but I'm going to make a separate video on that one, so stay tuned for that. What else did I want to say about these? I think that was it really. What they're good for in terms of conditions, you know, you can use them for most injuries. We recommend them a part of your kind of rehab. There's certain areas I wouldn't recommend you using them on. I particularly wouldn't use them necessarily on your neck. Definitely don't recommend using it on joints. So I will show you when we're say we're doing a leg, you would kind of go from down to kind of your knee, you would miss your knee, and then you go from upper thigh to your hip, or from behind. You would never actually roll on your joint, similar to your elbow and you know other joints. You wouldn't actually go on the actual joint itself. Other places you wouldn't foam roll is your tummy and also your very, very low back here. So if you think when you sit naturally you have this kind of S shape with the last bit there, you wouldn't roll that bit out. Just from the way the spine sits, that particular part, your spinous process, is the most prominent part of your spine, which you can palpate if you were to run your finger down the back of you, is most closest to the surface there. And a part of that side, so you have your spinous process, and then you've got your two wings either side, which are your facet joints. So in that position, if you're then going back, what you're doing is locking the area and you're making it even smaller. You're squashing it down. So it's definitely not recommended that you work on the lower back. Was there any other areas that you should avoid? Neck, lower back, tummy, and there is, some people say you shouldn't roll out along the side of your leg. I think that's different schools of thought. I definitely think it's helpful. I think it's really hard to stretch out the sides of your legs, so I think it's a really good device to use for that. So yeah, I can't think of any other places you shouldn't use it, so I think we're pretty much covered there. Right, moving on to actually using it. So I'm going to stick to the big one here to demonstrate. So what we're going to do now is show you how to use this from pretty much your head to toe to help stretch out. So if you've got one, you can feel free to join me. So and if you haven't got one, watch now, buy one, and then come back and come to this point and watch the video. So I'm going to try to do it real time in terms of, I'm going to do a few of each area, ideally both sides, so you can actually watch it like a workout routine instead of me demonstrating one part of each body and then leaving you to it. So I hope that's helpful. So let's begin.